I'm convinced, this is going to be a bold statement, but I'm convinced that there are probably very few brands or podcasts or whatever it is, YouTube channels, that are doing the amount of episodes that we are in the way we are, where it's just like, this is what we're going through. There is not everything is going to be the 5-step way to achieve success.
But ultimately, these walks, if we weren't taking these walks and connecting and me expressing, her expressing, me expressing, her expressing, asking each other questions, I actually wonder if we would even know what was going on in each other's lives.
Next Level Nation, welcome back to another episode of Next Level University, where we help you level up your life, your love, your health, and your wealth. Today, for episode number 1875, happy Sunday, a powerful question to ask the people you love the most. So this is going to be a quick episode because this is based on a quick question that I thought of the other day. I was in the office working. I was doing some back office work. Taryn was out. She was doing her work. And I was thinking to myself, in an ideal world, a relationship is transparent, where you know everything that's going on in the other person's life and they know everything that's going on in your life, and then together you know what's going on in your collective life. But life gets really busy, and it's hard to every day talk about all the new stuff you learned, or all the stuff you're struggling with, or all the stuff that you might be struggling with. So I said to Taryn when she got home that night, I said, I feel like I have a really good question that we could ask each other that would help our relationship. And I think you can do this in any relationship. It doesn't have to be an intimate relationship. It can be with friends. That's why it's a powerful question to ask the people that you love the most. That question is, what is going on in your personal life that maybe you have siloed away from me that might affect our relationship? I think that's a really good prompt, because even if I use Alan and I as an example, if I'm going through something in my relationship and I show up differently because of it, Alan might think it's because of him, and that might not be the case. So Taryn asked me that. She said, what would stand up for you if I asked you that question? And I said that I might say no instead of yes more often and faster.
Yeah.
Because
Nice.
right now there's 60 days in the year, 61 days left in the year. And I said, Alan and I are on a mad dash to finish out this year strong, and it feels hyper constricting. It's just, when you're counting the days down every day to the end of the year and putting it on your whiteboard, putting in the Dreamliner, it feels very constricting. So I said, my goal and my desire is to remain very flexible with you. When you ask me for something or ask me to do something, I don't want to just say no and then have to step back and figure it out. I want to say yes, and then I'll figure it out. And then if I can't do it, I'll say no. But you might get more no's than normal based on what I'm going through in the business. Not that I'm hiding anything. It's not that I don't want to talk about the business. It's just some days it just doesn't happen. If I'm working till 7 or 8, Tara doesn't get home some nights until 9. We're going to bed at 10. Sometimes we just want to turn the brains off. So I'm not saying that, maybe in an ideal world, you wouldn't have to ask this question, but I don't think there's any such thing as an ideal world. I think there's ideal moments and ideal seasons maybe. But I think that if you're coming to the relationship with any of your own baggage, for lack of better phrasing, or reactions from other stuff, I think it's a positive question to ask.
Well, I think one of the things that is really concerning with relationships, I think goals in relationships are actually a lot of times in conflict. If you are very, very, very focused on a goal, you have to do certain things, and then when you do those certain things, you get lessons and you learn, and you're burning down and you're struggling and you're developing skills, and there's a lot going on there. And I think that what it takes to build a great relationship is quality time. And what it takes to achieve goals is
quality time.
Yeah, drive and focus and flow, right? So the metaphor here is I have this focus cap that I wear around the house sometimes when I'm really trying to focus. I'm very much a weirdo. I'm an engineer. I'm just going to keep saying that. But this focus cap basically keeps it so that you don't see anything outside of your main focus. And the reason why is I get into flow really well with it. So I have my AirPods in, noise canceling, I've got my focus cap, and I'm just doing things while learning. And that's not exactly a great way to spend quality time around the house with your partner.
Mm.
And so fortunately, Emilia is so goal-oriented that she always has something else to be doing. So if I cut work early, a lot of times she'll still be working. Or if she cuts work early, I'll still be working. And so she's very understanding. But very rarely are we both downstairs kind of preparing for the gym by like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Very rarely are we both catching each other going, oh, we've got some extra time here today. And again, I also want to make this as clear as possible. I do think that's what 30s are. You're building wealth, you're building businesses, you're building brands, you're building families. Your 30s are for building. No one hangs out in their 30s. Seriously, dude. Like,
well, especially if you're dream chasing.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're a dream chaser and you plan on having a family, and if you don't already have a family, you got to be building now, because you might not be able to build. You're not going to be able to build at the same level in your 40s.
Exactly. And well, the other piece of this too is for anyone out there, whether it's a business or a career, the pinnacle of your early career is your 30s. So you're in it. I mean, millennials are, you and I are millennials. Millennials are in the thick of their career right now. So if you're out there and you're struggle bus and you feel like your career is taking the majority of your focus, that makes perfect sense. You know, you're not going to be that same way when you're 70. You're not going to be like grinding, not having quality time with your partner, right? So this is definitely a big build phase, not only in our mid-30s, Kev, but just this chapter right now. And I think that's good. I really do. Emilia and I are preparing to have a family.
Yeah.
And, you know, within the next 5 years, we're going to
I can't wait so I can, like, pick up freaking golf or something, you know? We were
Uncle
taking
Kev.
care of little Kev. We were taking little Kev Jr. I'll be out playing quick nine.
Quick nine. You're playing a quick nine. I told Emilia the other day, I said, you think we should sell your golf clubs? You know, because
sell them to me.
You imagine? Yeah, sell them to Kev. Uncle Kev golf clubs. It's funny. But ultimately, going back to your original question, I agree. It's very difficult sometimes when you're constantly building to spend that quality time. One of the game changers that Emilia and I call a game changer in relationship talks is tea walks. We both make tea and then we go for a walk, and we've been doing 45 minutes lately. It's been under the stars. It's been awesome with like autumn. But on the walks, and this is a cheat code, you take a walk with your partner, you end up just talking about everything. You talk about good, bad, ugly, logistics, this weekend, family. You end up just, everything gets out. So you always feel like you're on the same page. We're doing a relationship talks event 2 weeks from now, something like that. I'll actually have them put the link in the show notes, but it's our 41st event, and it's about the 5 relationship game changers that Emilia and I have done. One of them is gratitude game, one of them is tea walks, and we're going to go into it and how to do it and all that. But ultimately, these walks, if we weren't taking these walks and connecting, and me expressing, her expressing, me expressing, her expressing, asking each other questions, I actually wonder if we would even know what was going on in each other's lives.
Understandable.
She's
and
taking a
things
trauma
change
course.
So fast.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, I was just saying things change so fast. Things come up so fast. Things evolve so quickly.
Especially you and I, again, I don't want to make this about us, but 3 weeks, you and I feel like we've learned so much in 3 weeks. Sure. It's very exhausting. And yeah, just humbly here, obviously going through it on a Saturday right now. It's 12 o'clock a.m. on a Saturday. 12 o'clock a.m., 12 o'clock p.m.
12 o'clock p.m.
It's 11:59 a.m., so I just rounded up. But Emilia and I are both working all day. And we're gonna. My last call ends at 7:15, and then her and I are gonna connect. I think we're going to the gym together, but we don't talk in the gym. So yeah, these questions are. If you're not checking in, how could you not grow apart?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you gotta check in.
There's gotta be a proactive. There's gotta be a pro. It's like you can put a ship in the water, and you can aim that thing at a target. But if you're not checking in daily, you can end up miles and miles and miles off course. It just doesn't take that much. Next Level Nation, what is happening? If you've thought to yourself, I want to try coaching, but you don't really know where to start, group coaching would be a wonderful place for you. That's really why we created it in the first place. We start a new round every 90 days. So if you're hearing this, go to the website, nextleveluniverse.com, and we have the landing page where you can actually hold your spot right now. Even if there's a group going on right now, you can still lock your spot for the next one. The biggest thing that we've seen is as we get closer and closer to the date, unfortunately, some people end up missing. The group fills up and they can't do it, and then they end up regretting that. So please head over to the website. The link will be in the show notes, and we would love to see you there. I'm not a natural expresser.
Yeah.
I don't...
Is Taryn? Because Emilia's not a natural expresser either. I usually have to kind of ask questions to get her.
Same. No, Taryn's not really, no.
Okay.
No. I remember...
I'm very much.
In
case anyone was wondering.
I think the natural cadence of a relationship that works really well is when somebody's an expressor and somebody's not. I'm not saying it's the best way to have a relationship, but I remember when I lived with Matt would come home and he would just vent for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, dude, what about your day? And I was like, a couple podcasts. Good. And he's like, anything else? Like,
strong
no,
to semi-strong.
Yeah, it was a strong day. How are you doing? I'm overwhelmed, but I'm good. It's all good. All right, man. Anything else? No, I'm good, man. I'm going to head to bed. You good? Are you good? Yeah.
I'm with you on this one, Matt, for sure. One of the reasons these episodes are so short is because I needed to talk.
Yeah.
You and I have to check in.
And I told Alan, I said, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna do 16 minutes for this episode. We're gonna do 16 minutes for the next episode. We're gonna make it work.
I gotta get it out, man.
But that's the important thing too. Is so much of what we talk about behind the scenes is what we're going through in life, just at a deeper level, and then a lot of that gets carried over to what we talk about here. I'm convinced. This is gonna be a bold statement, but I'm convinced that there are probably very few brands or podcasts or whatever it is, YouTube channels, that are doing the amount of episodes that we are in the way we are, where it's just like, this is what we're going through. There is not everything is going to be the 5-step way to achieve success. Like, this is a question that I asked Taryn 2 days ago, and I was like, I feel like that would make a really good episode because I never thought of that before. Like, what an idiot. I should have thought of that a lot sooner.
Dude, that's been happening a lot lately. And I
calling
don't
me
go
an
down
idiot?
this rep. No.
More than normal? Or
no.
less?
No, definitely not. Things that are obvious are breakthroughs. I've had so many breakthroughs lately where, why did I never think of that before?
Yeah.
There's been so many of those. Earlier, I learned something about Kev. I'll keep it anonymous because I think that's a private thing. I will. But I learned something. It's been almost 8 years. 7, 8, whatever. It's been a long freaking time. And I just learned something about him. He's like, I just figured you knew.
Yeah. I thought it was obvious.
You've never once said that out loud. No, it's not obvious.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense, though.
What's obvious to you, the collective you, is very rarely obvious to everybody else. It just, because we're kind of all in our own silos.
That's why communication, man. Vulnerable, courageous communications. Dude, you and I get asked all the time on podcasts, how do you guys work together? How does that work? And the truth is, I don't even know if...
I'm just mooching off the... I'm just mooching. That's how it works for me.
Dude, I don't even know what to say sometimes. I think humility, courage, and vulnerability. That's what I always go to because every time we butt heads, we butt heads a little bit on the last team huddle. I was joking. I said, we're going to throw hands. And I think that was the first time Nicole ever saw us, get after it. Mm-hmm. And Brandon's like, I've been through this a dozen times. This is going to be fine. So he made a joke about it. But when we disagree, usually it's like you feel unheard or unseen in something. I'm expressing and feel expressed, but you feel like I don't understand what you're going through or growing through. And then you'll try to kind of lead. It's basically when I'm leading when you think I shouldn't be leading is what I think I have it down to.
I would say I think you think my awareness is lower than it is, and you think your awareness is higher than it is until I understand what you actually know. Yeah. Because sometimes you're like, well, Kev, I'm not done yet. Like, there's actually layers to this. It's like, oh, okay. I have layers too, though. But you do your layers so we can figure
Mother
out.
Effer.
Mother effer. Yeah. But I always say core values, core beliefs, and core aspirations. That's
that's
we would
plus-
never work. Well, everything, right? It's like, how many do you want? How much time do we have? Well,
Yeah.
we can walk you through.
If we had to
years and
pick-
years.
though, for the listeners, it would be core beliefs, core aspirations, core beliefs, core values, core aspirations, and courage, humility, courage, vulnerability. I do believe those 6 things. Common core wound. There's a bunch.
Character.
Well, that would be a common core aspiration and core value, right?
Yeah. But I just think like just not going outside of alignment. I know that's all of those, but that's like one of the big things. I'm not interested in doing stuff out of alignment. I came across a podcast last night that they said they're the #1 business podcast on the planet. And I was like, I got to research this. I need to know what's up with this. And I don't know. They're #1 and #2 very frequently, but they never are off the charts. It doesn't make sense. Something's up. I think they're paying for some stuff, just like they're paying for followers and whatever. But it's like, I don't understand how you sleep at night. Like, I don't understand how you sleep at night.
Same.
It blows my freaking mind. Okay, that's not what this episode's about. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole because we've been going down that rabbit hole.
So what was the question, to bring it back?
The question is, what is going on in your personal life, in your silo, internally, that you haven't even said to yourself out loud yet that may affect the relationship? And then there's a bunch of questions that you can roll off of that. What can I do to help? What is it that you feel like you need? Is there anything I could do to support you that would make that silo feel less siloed? And all I mean by silo is kind of by yourself. Because there are problems that I am dealing with that Taryn isn't.
I know.
We're dealing with them together because we're married, but they're my problems. Yeah. They're our problems, but I created them. And I'm solving them, right? And she has her stuff too. And I think that's just, of course we want to do it together, but you cannot do it together until you first realize what you're facing alone.
The very last thing I'll say on this episode is Emilia and I are constantly asking, her more than me actually, which I'm very grateful for, especially lately, but how can I support you? That question.
It's a great question.
Yeah, but you have to actually answer it. It can't just be, oh, nothing, we're good. You got to really think. What?
I say that a lot.
Yeah. No, I'm good. You're doing great or whatever.
For me, I need to vent.
You can think of something.
I need to vent. Just listen. Yeah, that's it. I don't. Like, I was under the weather the other day, and Taryn said, what can I do to take care of you? And I was like, I'm going to go back in the office. We'll be all right. We're good. We're all right. I'm fine. I just needed to tell you that I feel like crap, so if you notice me mugging around here later, it's not you. Sometimes I'm proactively doing it without realizing that's what I'm doing.
A lot of times I just say, I need permission to grind.
Yeah.
And to be that be okay. But if I do that for too long and she doesn't get a chance to basically say, I feel like I need my partner back, that kind of thing, right? So come back to me. She always says, come back to me. When I'm not present, I'm always in my head. I'm in the future, all this stuff. So anyways, be a business owner, but, and be a great partner too.
It's holistic.
Got to.
Holistic, baby.
Trying.
It's not going to be easy, though. It's not going to be easy.
Definitely not.
You live in the gym, you can get some gym results. You just do business all the time, you just spend time with your partner. Those are 3 different lives, but if you listen to NLU, you want all of it. And I do believe you can improve. Can you get all of it? You can rent all of it. Right? You're kind of renting it. You got to.
I feel like you and I have done this with minimal effort, I feel.
It's been easy.
So it's been pretty simple.
Yeah, it's been easy. I get 12 to 15 hours of R&R a day. Minimum. All right, we're going to go because we're going to do another episode right after this. And I'm excited to do it because Alan's excited to do it. And when he gets excited to do stuff, it makes me happy because he gets, like, fired up. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
All right. If you enjoy the content we put out, you want to make sure you never miss an opportunity to get to the next level of your life, love, health, wealth. Make sure you are subscribed on whatever podcast platform or YouTube, and we will appreciate that. And we have a private Facebook group called Next Level Nation for amazing humans like you. We'll have the link in the show notes. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And at NLU, we don't have fans. We have family. We will talk to you all tomorrow.
Keep checking in. Next Level Nation.